Imagine standing on a windswept hill in southeastern Turkey. There are no cities, no farms, no clay pots drying in the sun. And yet, rising from the earth are towering stone pillars, some weighing up to 20 tons, carved with foxes, lions, snakes, and birds, so detailed they feel alive. Now here's the unsettling part. This place was built more than 11,500 years ago. Long before farming, long before pottery, long before we thought humans were capable of such ambition. So let me ask you something. Who were we really before civilization began? For most of modern archaeology, the story felt neat and reassuring. Humans hunted and gathered. Then out of necessity, they learned to farm. Farming led to villages. Villages led to religion, hierarchy, art, and monumental architecture. Complexity followed survival. That timeline wasn't just accepted, it was foundational. It shaped textbooks, documentaries, and how we imagined our ancestors. Practical, focused on food, too busy surviving to dream big. Then Göbekli Tepe shattered that comfort. The site was first noticed in the 1960s, but dismissed as just another medieval ruin. Decades later, in the 1990s, archaeologist Klaus Schmidt looked closer and realized the hill wasn't natural at all. It was artificial, a man-made mound hiding something extraordinary beneath it. As excavations began, stone circles emerged. Not crude piles of rock, but carefully planned structures. At their center stood massive T-shaped pillars, some over 16 feet tall, carved with reliefs of animals rendered with startling skill. These were not houses. There were no hearths, no storage pits, no signs of daily domestic life. This wasn't a village. This was something else entirely. Here's the twist that still unsettles researchers. Göbekli Tepe predates agriculture. The people who built it were hunter-gatherers. No wheat fields. No herds of domesticated animals. No permanent settlements. And yet, they organized hundreds, possibly thousands of people to quarry stone, transport it without wheels or metal tools, and raise monuments aligned with purpose and symbolism. Pause for a moment and think about that. How do nomadic groups coordinate labor on this scale? What belief, what idea, what shared vision is powerful enough to bring them together again and again? This discovery forced archaeologists to flip the old timeline upside down. Maybe farming didn't create civilization. Maybe civilization shared ritual, belief, identity created farming. At Göbekli Tepe, the carvings tell a story without words. Predators dominate the stone. Lions, boars, scorpions, vultures. Humans are rare, almost absent. Some scholars believe these animals represent myths, spirits, or dangers from a world that felt unpredictable and terrifying. Others think the site was a ritual center, a place where early humans gathered to confront death, nature, and meaning itself. One particularly haunting detail stands out. Several pillars show headless human figures or vultures carrying human heads. To us, it's unsettling. But to these people, it may have symbolized the soul's journey after death. If that's true, Göbekli Tepe isn't just architecture, it's one of humanity's earliest expressions of spirituality. And here's where the mystery deepens. After centuries of use, the builders didn't abandon Göbekli Tepe to decay. They deliberately buried it. Tons of earth and debris were carefully packed around the structures, sealing them underground like a time capsule. Why preserve something so massive, only to hide it? Was it ritual closure? A shift in belief? Or did their world change so drastically that the old sacred place no longer fit? Not long after Göbekli Tepe's final burial, agriculture appears in the region. Wheat is domesticated. Permanent villages emerge. Pottery follows. It's as if once people gathered for belief, for ritual, for shared meaning, the pressure to support those gatherings pushed them toward farming. Feeding gods may have come before feeding cities. Let that sink in. What if religion didn't come after civilization, but sparked it? Göbekli Tepe forces us to see early humans differently. These were not simple survivors waiting for progress to happen to them. They were thinkers, organizers, storytellers, people capable of abstract ideas, long-term planning, and cooperation on a breathtaking scale. And here is the most humbling part. Archaeologists estimate that only 5% of Göbekli Tepe has been excavated. 95% still sleeps beneath the soil. How many more circles remain? How many more questions are waiting? So next time someone tells you civilization began with fawning, remember this hill. Remember the stones raised by hands that held no plows. Remember that before we learned to grow food, we may have learned to believe. If this discovery rewrote what you thought you knew about human history, share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think belief came before survival or survival before belief? And if you want more stories that challenge everything we assume about the past, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay curious. Because history still has secrets to reveal.